You know, this summer's going to be busy. I have 2 major drives and 3 smaller road trips set up. And I knew I was on the edge of needing tires, but quite frankly, I was hoping to hold off until July. But I got to drive next week, and something told me to inspect these tires before I got on the road. And, well, the tires can't wait, guys. As even at first glance, I can tell that these tires are past due. I mean, they are thin, the tread is really shallow, and I even have cracking along the edge. So there's no doubt in my mind that it's time for these tires to go. But for some of you guys that may not be exactly sure when it's time to pull the trigger on the tires, well, you can use the penny test. Old Abraham Lincoln has racked up a lot of knowledge on when to change a tire. So basically, you just grab a penny, turn Abraham upside down, and place it in the tread. And what you'll see is the depth of Abe's head. If at any point on the tire, Abraham's head is clear, you can see the top of his head, well, guess what? It is absolutely time to get rid of these tires. And what you can see here is we are past due. So now that's how that video was supposed to have gone had it panned out. But the fact that I am filming this video from the back of my Uber ride, well, I guess that's the world's greatest example of even the best laid plans refusing to pan out. So instead of me showing you how I saved upwards of $1,500 on my tire replacement, we're going to co-op this video into the next video, which is the very first episode of Ask the Owners. So going to do it a little bit different. We're going to take you with me and spend this weekend traveling and going on some of my driving excursions. And over that time frame, we're going to address some of these key questions that you guys submitted. We're shooting our very first episode of Ask the Owner, a series that basically gives me an opportunity to address some of the common and in some cases uncommon questions that you guys have had related to Porsche ownership, the Porsche experience, the Porsche community. And we're going to do our very best to bring some value to your questions and, anything else that we can do in this series. Now, first off, I am standing in front of probably my most favorite indie shop in Nashville, German Performance Options. And I got to send a shout out to these guys because, I had a whole plan for the week and things did not go as planned, and they bailed me out with my tire installations, my 4-wheel alignment, and some other stuff. So if you're in the Nashville area, guys, check them out. German Performance Options, and forgive the background noise because we're basically right in front of the building. But we're going to get started with the very first question. So buckle up and let's have some fun. Wow, it feels so good to be back in the 911, guys. And the trip, I'm supposed to be taking a road trip to go to some just car Porsche activities. And the plan was to be gone like either late last evening or early this morning, but the tire situation didn't work out. So I had to give my guys over at German Performance Options a call and beg them and plead them to help me get out on time. And again, I got to give another shout out to those guys for working with me. And I was like, hey, I'll come back for the wheel alignment. And they was like, nope, we can't put you on the road in new tires without having a wheel alignment. So they went into overdrive and got the car ready, and the car feels like $1,000,000. But now to the first question. First question comes from an anonymous Porsche enthusiast who's hoping to have a 911 someday. And the question is, can a 911 actually be a good daily driver? And is PPF really worth the investment? And I answer that by saying yes. Okay, part one of that question. Is a 911 a good daily driver? Absolutely. A 911 is really the perfect hybrid between your sports car and your ability to just drive normally, on a daily basis. It gets really good gas mileage, an average of 19 to 20 miles total gas mileage as far as fuel economy goes. And then you have ample storage capacity in the front, and if you fold the seats down in the back, you can even get a set of full-size golf clubs back there. If you need to travel, you can travel. You can do virtually everything in a 911 that you can a Toyota Camry, except for carry 4 people comfortably. Now, as far as the second part of that question, is PPF really worth the investment? Now, again, absolutely. In fact, I wouldn't buy probably a Camry or a Subaru, let alone a Porsche, without having at least the front part of my hood PPF. Particularly when you start talking about Porsches that have a low nose and then a high angular increase, they're really susceptible to rock chips and all types of foreign road debris to hit them, or be skirted up to hit your windshield. So you definitely want to have PPF. In my case, I spent, I think, about $3,400 to have the front half of the car PPF, which includes the pillars and the front leading edge of the roof, because those are all common impact points for debris. So again, yes, the 911 is absolutely a daily driver. Now, everybody doesn't drive the 911. Some people treat it like it's, you know, the Fabergé egg or the Mona Lisa. They only bring it out to dust it. But if you are somebody that's interested in a 911, you want to really have that driving experience, yes, it's an absolutely perfect daily driver. And when you get it, be sure to wrap it at least the front quarter with PPF. So, close that. So we're at another location and we got another question. And this question comes from, looks like G, location unknown, but G is the proud owner of a 981 Cayman. And G wants to know, what modern feature did I think was unnecessary, but now can't live without? Wow, you know what? I thought the lane change assist was just a big gimmick. Like, if you're driving, why do you need to be told to stay in your lane? You know, I thought it was just one of those safety features that, you know, the brand could just charge unnecessary, ungodly amounts of money for. Until it saved me a couple of times. And what I mean, I remember one occasion specifically. I don't want to say I was driving distracted. I just wasn't quite as focused as I needed to be. And you know how you're reaching for something in the passenger seat, you go to pick it up, you drop it on the floor. So here I am doing probably 65, reaching over, trying to get, you know, this item off of the floor, cell phone. And the car starts swaying. I didn't realize that I was swaying over into the right lane. Well, the car yanks itself back. I lift up and it's a gas truck in that lane. Now, had I not had lane change assist, you know what? That could have turned out differently and somebody else would probably be making the wastegate right now. But again, lane change assist is that one that I would say I thought was, you know, just gimmicky. But, you know, it's paid for itself a couple of times. Now, if I had to say a second one that's not a safety feature, well, I guess technically it's a safety feature, it's the Porsche matrix design headlights, these right here. Now, in the US, they don't come totally activated, but in European markets, these headlights, they give you a light show at night. And what I mean is, they give you a full high beam array, except for, you know, what doesn't need to be illuminated. So for instance, if you're driving on a dark road and there's a car in front of you, it'll throw the high beams on, except for on that car. So now you're driving and you have everything lit up except for the car in front of you, and then there's oncoming traffic. Well, it'll take the high beam, kind of like a no light spotlight, and track that car with no high beam as it moves through your wall of high beams. It's the most amazing thing. And actually, I'll put a link to a demonstration of it. But again, it doesn't come activated in the US. I had to pay extra for a technician to activate mine. And the downside to this, however, is there are frequent updates or frequent recalls that or service bulletins that Porsche puts out, that if you take your car to the dealership, they update the software, they can potentially overwrite that and put that back to factory. So the downside to me paying extra to have my matrix design headlights activated is that certain updates to software I can't have done, or it'll wipe it and I'll be back to stock. So that's question 2. What features did I think were gimmicky but can't live without? I'll say number 1 is the lane change assist, and then number 1B would be the matrix design headlights. Okay guys, so our next question is from George G of South Florida. He's a Porsche owner, and George is asking, are modern Porsches becoming too software heavy and losing purity? And George, I'll answer this by saying yes, absolutely. So you know what, the best way for me to explain this is to say Porsche is kind of like that friend that you have, that good guy, but then he gets a big promotion. Now he starts using words like synergy and right size and ROI, words that he never knew before. And Porsche has kind of turned into that, where you still have that core automobile. It's just kind of buried under, 3 or 4 menus and sub-menus and subscriptions that you got to buy. But as far as the purity, man, if you really want pure, nowadays you just got to buy a bicycle, because everything else you buy, microwave included, has 3 or 4 computers attached to them. And so we get another mountain driving experience where you get to throw the Porsche in the sports mode, Sports Plus, and you get to tackle these winding roads. And the incredible part of it is that we talk a lot about horsepower, but 45 miles an hour is incredibly fast given the right circumstances. And some of these curves up here, you get the right amount of rush at 35, 45 miles an hour. Now our next question comes from an anonymous viewer, and looks like an anonymous location. But this viewer asks, does doing my own maintenance on my Porsche put me in better contact with the car? So, the best way to answer that is to say, it's almost like with anything, the more time you put in with it, the better you feel about it, the more you tend to understand it. And your Porsche is no different, whether you're doing light maintenance like oil changes, or you're doing, custom modifications, or if you are doing something more extensive, more involved, modifying an engine, suspension work. The more that you deal with your car, the more you feel like you know it, the more you feel like you know what it will do or what it won't do. And that's negative. That's never a bad thing. That's always a positive. Now, the more you work on your car, the more susceptible you are to messing something up, to breaking something, to stripping a bolt. But even then, guess what? If you break something, you are officially a Porsche owner. Now listen, this is the first episode in a series of Ask the Owner. And the questions, they get more in depth, but they're based totally off of what you, the viewer, submit. And I'll tell you, while this episode didn't go as I had planned, wow, I am really enjoying the heck out of this experience. So I encourage you guys, if you are a Porsche owner, Porsche enthusiast, or just a lover of cars, man, you gotta grab your keys, get on the road, because life is short. And maybe you're in a big city where the nice curvy roads aren't readily accessible. Today I met up with a group. We got probably 30 cars out here broken up into groups. But we had to drive an hour and a half to get away from the metropolitan core, just to get out where you can really appreciate nature, the drive, and just kind of put all of the world behind you for just a second. So that being said, if you found any value in this video, well, I encourage you to like, share it, and subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, as usual, I want to send a mega thanks to you, because you are the reason that this channel is doing exactly what it's doing. So drop a comment below and tell me what questions you have that I can feature in upcoming episodes. And if there's any feedback that you have with my answers, which I'm sure somebody will, drop that in a comment as well, because that right there is what fuels this community. So until the next video,